If you're trying to buy your first house here in Philadelphia and the whole thing, the whole process itself kind of feels like this confusing mystery, like everybody else has like this instruction manual and you're like the only one who doesn't have it, then this video is for you, because today I'm going to be walking you through the entire thing, basically from start to finish, step by step. What's up guys? Steve Buzogany, Philly's real estate agent. I've been helping people sell and buy homes here in the Philadelphia area for 14 years, probably about at this point, and about $100 million in sales over the course of those 14 years. And one of the biggest things I hear from first-time home buyers is, Steve, I don't even know like where to start. What do we do first? Like what actually happens? Like what's the order in which we should do things? So today I'm going to be basically breaking down the entire home buying timeline here in Philadelphia. So basically it's like 9 steps, but I'll make it, short and contrived so you can basically understand it a lot easier. And then, from day one to keys in hand, no confusing jargon or any weird fluff or anything like that. Just the roadmap, plain English. Before we jump in, if you want the kind of straight talk guidance most first-time home buyers never get handed, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe. It genuinely helps me get this kind of video and this kind of content in front of first-time buyers just like yourself here in the Philadelphia area. And if you've got a friend who's been thinking about buying, then share this video with them too. It's basically the whole playbook all in one video. All right, let's get back into it. Okay, so here's the thing I want you to hear right up front. So buying a house kind of feels overwhelming, mostly because nobody's ever really laid out the steps and you don't know what you're doing. So, and that's basically it. That's like the source of most overwhelm. It's just, you just don't do it every day. You don't know what it is. It's not like it's actually like a hard thing. It's just unfamiliar. So once you see that whole path in front of you, that fear kind of starts to melt away and it becomes more of a process that you go through rather than a mystery. So it goes from, I don't know what I'm doing to I got this. So like that's what we're doing today. So by the end, you'll know exactly what happens and in what order it happens. So a personal story here I'm going to go over real quick is I want to talk about the people who have the best experience with buying a home. So the people who have the best experiences are usually the people who literally follow, and I'm not trying to like point you in a corner, but the people who follow my guidance the closest, or follow their real estate agent's guidance the closest, rather than the people who think they know better, or they read something online, or they talk about anything that has to do with real estate that is not coming from the person who does it every day. Like I've sold over, I don't know, hundreds of homes at this point, and I've $100 million in sales, 14 years of experience, day in and day out. And then someone's gonna tell me that, well, my uncle owns a rental property, so he told me this, and then they start taking every piece of advice from him or some other family member, or they read something somewhere. The best experience you'll have, just stay as close to my guidance and advice as possible. That's the guidance that I'm giving you now, because I'm gonna drive you down a smooth and easy path. And if you start to veer off it, I will do my best to keep the guardrails up. But I'm telling you, the easiest path is when you just follow my guidance, and you'll have a smooth transaction, and it will be just, I guess, peaceful and smooth and easy. Okay, so step one, and you guys have heard me say this a million times, this is the one everybody wants to skip actually, is get pre-approved by a mortgage pro before you actually look at a single house. I swear I'm gonna get that on a t-shirt and I'm gonna wear it every day on this channel, because it's so important, and it's the one step that people get out of. They put the cart before the horse so much. They're like, let's go look at homes, then we find one, then we'll get pre-approved. No, that's not what you do. Because what happens if you like the house and then you go to get pre-approved and you can't afford the house because you didn't get pre-approved ahead of time? It turns out your credit's not good enough, or your income's not high enough, or both, or something else. So who knows? So get the pre-approval letter first. That's the most important part of this whole process. Just talk, and if you don't have a good mortgage person, that's not a problem. Just give me a call, text, email, whatever it is. I'll get you connected to the right mortgage person who will connect you with the pre-approval letter that you're trying to get. Then you know exactly where your limit is. And you're like, okay, I'm pre-approved for 400. That means I can't look at any house over that number. And you can go up to that number and it's perfect. And it doesn't mean you have to spend that number either. You just, you can go that high. You can absolutely buy a house for 250 or 300 or whatever, but just get the pre-approval first. Step number 2, this is the fun part. This is where your real estate agent comes in. This is where you start looking at homes and you start browsing online, and you do all the things that most people expect to do on the first step, but actually this is now that step number 2. So basically what we're gonna do is, this is kind of like a team effort kind of situation. So I'm gonna be searching the market and the MLS and other resources I have, investors who might be selling off market, whatever the situation is. maybe social media groups that I'm in, realtor circles that I'm connected with, whatever the situation is, I'm going to be sending homes to you that match the criteria that you've told me. And on your end, you might just be doing your midnight browsing on Zillow or whatever on Friday night or whatever the heck you're doing. And you can do, if you see something that you like, there's no problem with you just being like, hey, Steve, I found this house at 123 Main Street. Let's go take a look at it. That's not a problem either. So, and then we'll just work together. And then once we have, I guess, 1 or 2 houses, or if you have multiple, like 3, 4, or 5, that's fine too. Then we'll set up a tour and then we'll get out there and do the, like I said, the fun part, which is actually going out and looking at houses. Step number 3, this is the part where we actually write an offer. We found a home that we like, and now we're gonna make an offer and get an acceptance from the seller. So this part is where my negotiation skills come into play. I basically help you out, figure out the right price, the terms so that you're competitive, but not overpaying if it's a competitive offer situation. We submit the offer, and then once the seller says yes and signs the offer, congratulations, you are now officially under contract, but you're not done yet. So this is kind of where a lot of first timers kind of like think it might be over and now they're good and whatever. But it's really, that's the important part, is that this is just kind of getting started, and it's on to step 4. Which, by the way, step 4 is your due diligence period. This is where you've got your offer accepted, your deposit is now due, so you send in your first deposit, and then you start to do your due diligence. And in Philadelphia County, the most common due diligence period is usually 10 days. Like, that's like your inspection window. And this is basically your chance to bring in like a professional home inspector or whatever, mom and dad, whatever the situation is, and really find out kind of what you're buying. And here in Philly, this is what matters. Like, a lot of our homes here are gorgeous, and they are a little old too, though. So like a lot of them are like over 100 years old. So we've got the charm, but we've also got some of those older systems, like those plumbing systems, electrical systems, some older roofs. The home inspection is basically how you're going to find out what all that is, how old it is, before it actually becomes your problem. And then, by the way, once you do get the problem set, or once you do get the problem identified, then you can then use your inspection report as leverage to get money from the seller. You can get a credit from the seller. You can request the seller to fix it. Me personally, I kind of like credits a little bit better, because you get the money and then you can go make the repair on the roof or whatever the fix is with your own contractor that you know, like, and trust, versus the seller could just, if a lot of times I've gone to settlement, it's settlement day, hey, cool. And the seller didn't fix what they said they were gonna fix, and now it's like this whole thing. Versus like, if they just gave you money, then you could take the money and do what you want with it and hire the person you want. And then, because if it's done wrong, then you gotta chase the seller disappeared into the void and you don't know where they are, and now it's this big hassle and it's annoying. So I kind of prefer the credit. That's only my personal opinion, and it's a lot easier for everybody, because then nobody has to do anything. It's just write you a check, and then you take it and go fix it yourself. Okay, step 6 is the appraisal. You schedule the appraisal with your mortgage pro. You're basically, the appraisal is gonna be where the lender's sending out someone to confirm that the home is actually worth what you agreed to pay for it. So it protects you and it protects the bank. So most of the time, it comes in fine usually. I'd say probably like 90% of the time, it's usually okay. And if it's not, then basically we're gonna have to keep rolling, but it doesn't mean the end of your deal if the house doesn't appraise. It just basically means that now it's another negotiation period. So the offer itself, when you negotiate the price and terms up front, that's an offer, or that's a negotiation period. The inspection, negotiating repairs, another negotiation period, and the appraisal. If it falls short of the value you're paying for it, that's another negotiation period. So now that you know these 3 negotiation period, when you're making an offer in a competitive situation, and you get a cash offer so cash offer, meaning no mortgage, that means no appraisal, and a no inspections, which means no inspections clauses, there's really only one negotiation period, which makes it a lot easier for the seller. There's less obstacles that take place that's what makes the offer so much more appealing. It's like, wow, there's a lot less obstacles if I just take this all cash, no inspections offer versus this offer with seller assist money and a mortgage and an appraisal and all this other stuff. So hopefully that clears some things up. Okay, so step number 7 is a second deposit. A second deposit is if your agreement calls for it. A lot of times that will be the case though. So remember, basically the first deposit is back in the beginning when your offer gets accepted. Some contracts here are structured with 2 deposits. The smaller one is the one you do up front. The second one is a larger deposit, if you're putting 20% down, your second deposit is usually 5% of the purchase price, and that's due after like your inspections are finished. And that's not on every deal, but it happens on many deals. And don't worry, these deposits aren't like extra money. These deposits get credited towards your down payment. This is the money that you bring. So basically the money that you bring to settlement will be the rest of the down payment that you are putting down on the house. So you have your deposit and then the money you bring to settlement combined, that is your total down payment. Step number 8 is a pretty straightforward one. It's basically scheduling settlement. So we schedule settlement with the title company, settlement, or some people call it closing. That's basically the finish line. This is the day you sign everything, you take on your mortgage, and the home becomes yours. The title company's job is basically to make sure that the home has a clean title and there's no surprises attached to it, no unpaid gas liens or things like that. And then we just get the date locked in on the calendar and kind of just wait for the date to get there. And let's talk about step 9. Last but certainly not least, this is the, you get that magic phrase from your mortgage person where you get, it's clear to close. And that basically means the loan's fully approved and you're good to go. So you show up at settlement, you sign your name about probably like 100 times. And yeah, your hand will probably hurt at some point. And then basically that's it. You've now taken ownership and you've become a homeowner. And the home is now yours. So congratulations on your new home. And which is a really cool thing actually as a real estate agent. Having done this, I sometimes feel like a little numb to it, which is a problem. But it's a really special thing when you see someone with, handing their first set of keys for the first time. It's like, I've seen buyers fall, like, obviously they bring bottles of champagne to celebrate. I've seen people cry because they're so excited and so happy about it. Like, it's a really cool, special thing. So I think it's definitely something worth looking forward to. So I hope that one day you're able to achieve that as well. Okay, so there you have it. That's the whole Philadelphia home buying timeline. So, you get your pre-approval, you search your homes with your real estate agent, make your offer, do your due diligence period, and your inspections, and then you negotiate those repairs. You get your appraisal, you submit your second deposit, you schedule settlement, and then you get your clear to close and sign on the dotted line. So those are the 9 steps. And I do promise you, once you see it all kind of laid out in front of you, and as we're going through it, I'm going to be holding your hand through the whole process. This is not like 9 steps. You're gonna have to remember, like, oh my God, is it time for step 4 yet? Or is Steve taking you, like, where are we in space right now? Like, I'm gonna be holding your hand through the whole process. It's not like we're gonna be at like step 4 and you're just not gonna, and like step 5 is gonna come out of nowhere like a freaking linebacker and take you out. Like, it's not gonna happen like that at all. So, but if it's something you do want to take a look at, we'll certainly, we'll jump on a call together. We'll look at your situation together. We'll build a plan, no pressure at all. And if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more Philadelphia insights. So for now, I'll see you on the next video.